way of background, I'm a Riverina person from way back, so it's great to be back in this region. What we're going to deal with today is what we call Packline man-to-man defence, which is part of our classical Australian national style of play, which is not to say that we want every single person, every single coach in Australia to run the same sort of thing, but what we're trying to do is have a consistency of teaching from under 12 right through to our boomers and ovals. So as young players progress through the stages and through the pathway, whether that's into boomers and ovals or whether that's into the Wagga State League system, right, they've got some competencies that they can do, and their coaches can have an expectation about what they know and how can they defend. The reason we teach this is, one, the offence globally continues to get better. Players are more skillful, they're bigger, stronger, more athletic. So we need to have some systems in place where we can defend. The other big focus is defending without fouls. Keeping people on the free throw line, keeping people out of the bonus in every quarter, and keeping the best players on the floor. One of the things we found is putting teams on the free throw line at the elite level far too much, and we were always having to manage foul trouble with our best players, our Andrew Bogans, our Lauren Jacksons, our Liz Campbells. They're always getting 2 quick fouls, they've got to sit. Because it doesn't matter what sport it is, you want your best players on the floor, right? So that's a big thing. Tackling, improving athleticism, speed and agility on offence, and making sure our players can defend without fouls, but also just making sure they're really sound defensively. Because even though the game's a game of scoring, there's that other round ball little tournament going on at the moment that some people are interested in. Right? That's not a game of scoring. Ours is a game of scoring. It's not going to be 1-0. Right? So if you can defend, you've got to give yourself a chance to play. Most coaches will value players that can defend without fouls. Yes, we like scorers, but very rarely are you going to start 5 scorers. Right? And as we know, often our best scorers, maybe not our best defenders. So if you've got to carry someone that's given you 30 points a night but given up 25, you better make sure you've got some other guys in your starting group that can defend. So the Packline man-to-man, a lot of people confuse it for a sagging man-to-man, and it's not. It's about their positioning. But it does start, like any sort of man-to-man defence, with pressure on the ball. If you can't defend your player, if you're guarding the player with the ball and you can't defend that player, it doesn't matter what system you've got in place, it doesn't matter what help rotations you've got in place, you're going to be in trouble. So it has to start with 1, pressure on the ball, but 2, the ability of each player to be able to defend their man. Alright, so just partner up with the ball between 2 groups. Go. Come out of the ball. So, containing the basketball, we want to make sure that we've got stance, foot position, hand position. Right? So often with young players, they don't have any of those 3, or they don't have one of those 3. Now, if you think about it, they don't get the stance, they don't know where to place their feet and move their feet, but just as importantly, they don't know where to place their hands. That's when you have 2 issues. Lack of containment, but again, foul trouble. We want to make sure that we can stay out of the bonus for as long as we can. So we just start off with what we call one-on-one chest blow rehearsal. So all it's going to do is start. All they're going to do is ball up. I'm going to close out and short close out. So on the close out, 2 hands, and now I'm going to settle here and touch distance. I want to be in a situation without having to lunge where I can touch that ball if he gets lazy. Alright? Now we don't want kids to reach, but if he gets lazy with that ball, we want them to be a tight game. Nothing wrong with that. Alright? Okay. We don't want big gross movements, but we want to be able to do that. So I want to touch this and I want my hand above the ball. A lot of people teach a lot of different things. If you've got your hand above the ball, That's going to stop him being able to move it around, and as you know, the more they can move the ball around, the more that you're going to get fixated with the ball come out of your stance. The other thing now, we know that people shoot a lot more threes than they did 20 years ago. If I defend like this, you shoot, you can get in, and that's not a bad shot now, right? 20 years ago, the coach would yell at me, but my hands are down. I think that's a free look. Be like the man on the mark doing this. What's the man on the mark doing footing? Just one more thing that they're taking away. So we're hand above the ball, right? So as we go, right, get a stance, sit in your game good. Trying to close out, hand above the ball. Now we swaps, that hand above the ball. The other one's up. It's not out, it's not down. The reason being, hand above the ball, alright? This one's ready to make a play. So if you quickly transfer to the massive pass there, I've done. You see kids do this, called airplane stance. There's no value at all. Or you see this one, I've got to get a new analogy to call it Peter Garrett stance. The kids don't know what that is. Right? This one. What does this do? It just opens up this whole side of my body. Right? One, how many passes get thrown up there? Approximately 0. But it opens up now to sweep and go bust. Just opens up that side of my body for penetration on foul. So I want my hand here above the ball. He swaps. Right? And I want to make sure I keep his non-pivot foot in the middle of my stance. So that's his pivot foot. I'm here. If he goes this way, bang. Non-pivot foot in the middle of my stance, hand above the ball. Alright? Then we'll swap, throw it, close out, and throw it up, close out. Hand above the ball. Good. Now, as I sweep it, yeah, above the ball. Alright? Then we're going to add this. Trust me. Shot play. Now, where are your hands? Alright? You've got to constantly coach the hands. You see, they get, and they've been taught to do different things, but a lot of the time players just have their hands in absolutely useless situations. That's not a shot at him. So if you go to shoot it, I'm going to contest shot, hand above ball. That's good. Hand above ball. Alright? And I've got to move so it stays in there. Alright, just rehearse. Let's just do that for a couple of seconds. Start quick. Now you've got, as I said, you have to constantly coach the hands. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Because they'll do this, hands in pockets. They'll do this, aeroplane, right? Or they'll do this, and it's nothing, right? It's contest shots, hand above, and this one's just ready. Just ready. And wherever they're comfortable, but don't let them get to that. What does that do? One, what it does to my hip, pulls me out of a stance on that side of my body, but it also is like a big gate that opens up. Alright, now, stop. You see, you're trying to change hands. What have you got to do to keep her foot in the middle of your stance? So it's there, hand above ball, right? When she changes it, you're going to hop, hop, hop. Get there, okay? Because if you start doing this, now my weight distribution's there. As an offensive player, she can always act quicker than I can react, right? So I lean, go right here, puff. All right? So it's here, just little small movements. I cut also. And go. Alright, now, what we want to try and create on that first dribble is what we call a chest slide. Alright, so as they dribble, I want to be able to slide and take any contact right through the middle of my chest. Alright? If we do that and we play with chest out, hands up, hands out, we won't foul. So we've got hand above ball, they dribble, we move quickly, chest out, hands back, and we're trying to take pressure through there. So good officials won't call that. Right? Now if I get to here, if he dribbles this way, and I get to here and get contact, foul in every gym in the world, and so it should be. So what I've got to do is a foul. Now if I do this, hold smile, right? If I do this, foul and everything's going to work. If I stay down, take a step, and then I bump back. So I don't keep impeding, I'm briefly impeding, and then I jump back, and I'm ready to go, right? It's a way that we can legally contain, we can legally use our torso to keep the ball in front. So the drill for this, throw it, high hand, close out, now. One, change, hand on the ball. Now, you're going to dribble to your right, this is my left, one hard dribble, and I'm going to try and go this way. I'm going to try and take that chest line, alright? That's all we're going to do. You've got to get there, make sure they can be right in the soon. Let's go. Now hold up. One, two, so it's here, shot, 1, 2, 3. You have to go right, one dribble. So you guys shouldn't get beat because you know they're going wrong. Alright, you've got to beat them in that spot. Go. Good boy. Outstanding. Good. Really good, my man there, really good. Chest out, hands back. Alright? That's the key. Anytime that on the dribbling player, you're going to put hands on, it's a foul. And it is, because for those that have played, it's a massive advantage, isn't it? Just that little swing. As he goes this way, I'm able to do that. It's so subtle that I can just, it is. It's hand checking, if you do it properly, alright, it's really, really hard. That's why they've taken out the NBA. Right? So what we have to do is show the official, I'm playing with my feet, I'm playing with my torso, I'm not playing with my hands. I'm the live dribble. Okay? So same thing now, what I want you to do is go left off the dribble, so now we're moving right. Now the term defensive slide, we all use it, and I'll probably drop it today in the next hour. It's the worst term in basketball. In a 5-on-5 game of basketball, when have you seen anyone ever contain like this? Never. Why do we call it defensive slides? You try and slide, unless you're Usain Bolt, good luck. Right? It's a small jump or a hop, or I say skip into your step. You're still going to move that first, big to bigger, but it's really a small controlled hop. Alright, so try and change your vernacular. If you use the term defensive slide, which we've used since Shepherd's Cup, try and throw it out. Because really, as we know now, kids are really habitual learners. So when they do defensive slide, what do they think? There's just no way. Like same thing, so now we're going to add some communication. Shot, ball, slide. Okay, so, shot, ball, slide. Shot, ball, slide. Now, shot, ball. Right, chest out, hands back. Chest out, hands back. Shot, ball, slide, ball, slide. Right now, up, offense. I want you to go harder now. So you're going to go shot, kick, go, and then it's as hard a dribble as you can. Defense, you're trying to take it through that chest line. Alright? Let's get it done. If you get, hold up, stop. If you get a chest line, it's worth 2 points. First to 4 points. Go, go. Why you would only do this for a very short amount of time in practice is they start getting robotic. And that's that big go now. Right? You can't move, you've got no fluidity to your body, right? So that's why we say just hand it on, the other one's up. That's comfortable. That's not. That's not. Right? So hit, and that's what. But you've also got to do, it's not just this. Alright? So the ball's here, there, change it. I've got to keep my stance centered. If I do this, it's not centered, go there, then drop. Chest to chest. My chest has to play your chest. My feet has to play your feet. Alright, let's go. Quickly. Right, now, we've got bump and done now. So obviously players take more than one dribble. So now what we're going to do is go bump and done. So same drill. Now he's going to go, and I'm going to take the chest block. Now, bang. Great. If now I stay, what's the problem? Foul, or even if they don't call, I've given him my body and just go. And it's over. Right? So what we have to do now is called bump and done. So do it like this, I'm 100 years old. Right? Go. Bang, bump. Bump, done. If he comes again, bump, done. See the difference? We actually get away to a certain degree with, some would say fouling, but no hands. He's actually initiating the contact, not me. I'm allowing him to come through my chest. See the difference? Now you get someone elite, like Damien Martin, Perth Wildcats and Boomers, he'll go 1, charge 2. Now the problem is our friends the referees call that a flop man. Right? It's not a very good rule change. They're asking someone to rule on what someone else is thinking. Like, good luck, right? But that's the technique we're going to do. So, same thing like blah, come, bump, and we're just stopping, giving, stopping, giving. Alright, let's go. Now we've laboured on that because that's the key. If you can't do those fundamentals, stance, foot positioning, foot movement, hand positioning, doesn't matter if you play zone, 2-2-1 press, run and jump, whatever it is, if you can't do that, you can't play. Right, so that has to be like brushing your teeth. They have to be exposed to that every day. Right? Just like you don't brush your teeth, if you don't do that, there's going to be decay in your defense. People, where we have problems is this. So he's defending me, and he gets out of shape, and I need to hit. First problem, foul. If that's not called, bigger problem now is rotation. And part of the Packline man-to-man system is he's staying out of rotation as long as we possibly can. Why? Right, so you're my teammate. Right, put the ball down. You're a defender. Right. So you're guarding him. This guy's guarding me. I get by him. What does this guy have to do? They run out of fresh bodies. If he does his job, we're not in rotations, he stays maxed up, he stays maxed up. So what's probably going to have to happen? It's probably this pass. Is that a massively threatening pass? No. Alright? So the ability to guard your man and stay out of rotations is absolutely crucial. Alright? So, partner up here, we're going to do 3 to either side. So what we're going to do last stance drill, come here to the ball. You go down here, you start with the ball. No, you start with the ball. Go back. We start everything with a little closeout. What we call a one-way closeout. Because closing out is probably still the hardest defensive skill in all of basketball. So we start everything with a little close out, hand position, hand lock now. Right? Up, right? Hand lock, close distance, right? So keep right. So what's going to happen? You're going to take 2 hard dribbles down towards the baseline. You're going to defend, go. You're going to move, stop. You're going to hesitate, cross over, and take 2 back to the middle. Your only job is to try and get in the keyway. That's worth 2 points. If you stop and get in the keyway, it's worth 2 points. Show us that. Here we go. And good. Good job. All right. You see there, as he went, he used that bump and dunk technique, and it was just enough to force him to hit. What's the difference between forcing him to here and allowing him to get to here? Rotation. I'm not going to help. So you be the help defender, you be it there. Right? If I get to here, what are you probably going to do? Human nature. If I get to here and you see me that I'm going, what are you going to do? You're going to stay. What have we stayed out of? Now I try and make that pass, steal it. Alright? If you can stay out of rotations for as long as you possibly can, doesn't mean that we don't rotate. Again, kids are very literal learners. Make sure they understand that at some time we are going to have to rotate. Our focus is stay out of rotation as long as we possibly can. So I just see that. So we call it 2-angle detainment. So you do it on that side. Good boy. Next. Stay down. Right, swap over. Pretty good. The one thing that they're tending to do, and it's common, is on that bump, they tend to stand, right? Which is common. If they can stay down, take it through the chest, that's when you've got something elite. If they stand, what can't they do? The next thing. What's the most important thing in all of basketball? The next thing. What happens next? Right? So if we say that that's important, why aren't we teaching it? Right? What's next? So with that in mind, we want to also coach from what we call a game sense environment. Because kids, we understand, because you're coaches, and we all know coaches are geniuses. Right? Kids don't understand why you're doing it. They go, oh, it's just another drill. And as we know with defensive drills, what are they thinking? When are we going to play? This sucks. It's boring. Right? Is that right? You guys are players. You ever think that? Yeah. Right? So you've got to let them play a little bit. So now, back there, just jump out towards you. Give me a low post here. Quick. Anything you do one-on-one, unless it's absolute rehearsal based, you can do 2-on-2. Why? That's the game. The game's made up of a series of 2-on-2, 3-on-3 environments. It's not a 5-on-5 game. It's a game that's got 10 people on the court, which is played in a series of 3-on-2s, 3-on-3, or 2-on-2, or numerical advantage. So what we're going to do, same thing. Now, go and work technique first, baseline, then straight, middle. Now, if he doesn't get across the foul, across the keyway line, what are you going to do? Stay, good boy. If he does, what have you got to do? Go. 2 words. And again, you've got to give him the verbiage, because he's going to tell you. So you're either going to stay or go. Pretty simple. Alright, now, so if you have to go, we're looking to create a 2-on-1 for you to be a layup. Now, if you can't, then you have to retreat, flashing it open, and now we're just playing 2-on-2. Alright? Always let them just play at the end of it. So show them rehearsal, the thing that you want to focus on, but let them play. Who coaches under 12s or has ever coached little? What's the first question they do? 2 minutes into practice, what do they ask? When do we play? Right? Well, I say we're playing now. We're not playing 5 on 5, we're playing 2 on 2. And that's an intent. And they'll be fine with that. Right? Never use the word drill. This doesn't matter if the players are 9 or 29. You guys like drills or you like playing? Playing. Pretty simple. Right, let's go. Now, I want you to play. The only thing that's rehearsal is that first one. Then you're trying to get in the middle and you just play. Do you understand? Here we go. Go. Alright, not too bad. But again, we need to teach them the cues. You did a pretty good job, and Riverina keeps the boys, they tend to talk pretty well because they grow up doing what? Playing next door, playing footy. If you don't talk, you perish. Right? But you've got to give them the cues. You use 5 words to replace with 1. Right? Stay, go! Then it's really clear. What the other thing about that, your teammates got great clarity, but who else has got great clarity? You. They almost talk themselves out of it, and that's what you did. Get stuck because you weren't sure. Best way to be sure, go! And then he knows his only job in life is to get to the next guy. Right, next 4 up. Let's go, quick, come on, move. Try and keep your warm. Ready, come on. Start to close out. Good. Technique, good. Go, take. Good. Not too bad. Thing there is, great, go, positive. There was no ambiguity at all in what he was doing. Go, go, go! What did it force? Turnover. The other value of getting to this drill quickly is two-way teaching. Alright? So the pass, she's going left so she's not as comfortable. The go came, someone was wide open, what did she try and do? Alright? What probably should have been. Anytime that we're passing from interior to interior, we want to stay out of what we call strike zone passes. Here and here. So the pass will be, as you go, right, that, above the strike zone, or as it comes hard, below the strike zone. You've got to give them that tool. But while we're teaching defense, we're teaching what? Basketball. Got a two-way teach. So one more time. Good. Now good. Good boy. Now good. Alright? Pretty good. Now, was there fouls there? Now, I know people maybe in our league, but if that was officiated properly, any contact was torso to torso, it wasn't torso to shoulder or torso to hip, and there was no gross movement. Any time that you create gross movement defensively, bad things happen. And what I mean by that is any gross movement when you're doing that. But the other thing, in terms of gross movement, when I have to go from here, that's a gross movement, and bad things are going to happen. Part of this is we want constant minor adjustment. Alright, so ideally we have our positioning, so if there's a player there, we call it a one-way closeout, bang, one, shoot, there. Rather than here, help, oh shit, now I'm done. Alright, so we want small adjustments. We'll build to that now. So give me, here, give me offense and defense there, quick. Offense and defense, coming this way a little bit. I will be on quick. So now we start into our pack positioning. Now, again, the style of play is not about every single coach in every single club and every single association in Australia doing the same thing. Alright? So, some coaches would deny this. So, don't deny that. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Even in the pack line, if you want to deny. I would tend to deny, particularly this is in Main Street, right? In this centre third of the court, right? Because come down, automatic rotation will happen is when I get here. If I get through what we call flow penetration or Main Street penetration, there has to be rotation. Someone has to go up, you have to go in, you have to drop, and I'm just trying to keep, you know, I do my control, you, bang, you got it done. Right? So, for this, our pack positioning is going to be now, you're in a flat triangle off your hand, yeah, flat triangle there. Now, you can still bother or discourage that pass by having that, but don't run. Sit in your game, alright, bend that up. That's a big one. If you play with straight arms, what's the tendency to do? Forces you that way. Makes sense? If I do this, what's it do to my body? If I do this, what's it do to my body? No, let's try. You're more flexible again. You don't need this. So you're there, you're pointing ball and hand. You're the same. So you're a little bit flatter, pointing ball, man, sitting your game. So now, we're playing three, because I would have a defender against the ball. So if I try here, now that's, we don't want it, what sort of movement is that? That's a gross movement, and there's no way you can get that there. Alright, and that's where we need, your positioning shall be your help. In the Packline man-to-man, your positioning shall be your help. So what he wants to do, he can what we do call hand help. Right, so come here. Now that's the only help we can give. Because if he goes body help, bang. Which means we're in rotation, which means wide open. Alright? So come guard me. So remember, he's guarding me. So when I go that way, his job is to do what? Get a chest blow, get a bump and done. Right? He's going to hand on and make it. Bang. Now we're out of rotations. Now what pass am I going to make? I'm going to make a pass and he's got a one-way closeout. Do you understand what I mean by a one-way closeout? This is a two-way. Help. One way, two way. Now I went to Crinkle High School for a few years, and even up there they told me that one is less than two. Alright? So it's going to be a lot easier if we can just move one time. Alright? So what we're going to do is come out. I might punch in and do it. Alright? Come back, then I'm going to pass it there. Now what's going to happen here again, you're going to ball your basket, you've got to go to your cut positioning. Now, traditionally, we might come to 90s, and that's still okay, right? It's still okay if you want to do it. Again, it's not about a game of absolutes, but in the pack, you're going to come here, sit in your game, point at both. Same thing. If there's penetration, he's got a hand help, and if it's a pass, it's one-way closeout. So again, what we're trying to do is eliminate those big gross movements where people have to go help and recover. Now, if you're a great athlete, you can help and recover. This allows any sort of player to do it. Aaron Baines, I don't know if you watch the NBA playoffs, when they'd switch, Aaron Baines, 6'11", son of a tobacco farmer from Mariba, he was able to be out here guarding LeBron James. And he was. Right? Pretty effectively. Why? You know, he's a terrific defender, but he knows he's got people close enough that if he does go, they're going to at least slow LeBron down. It's the same here. Positioning's the key. Now, what's going to happen? You're going to throw it to me. Get quickly to your pack positioning. Good. Then I'm going to throw it again. Now we're playing on out. You've got to stay on that side. Good. And we play from there. Alright, let's see the whole thing. What I want you to do is watch how many gross movements there is as opposed to small, constant movements. Gross movements will get you killed at the defensive end. Any time where you've got to turn, change direction and run, unless you're an elite athlete like Rex, right? You're not going to be able to get it done. Small, constant adjustment. Ready, stand, sit, go. Good. Hands up, good. Pull. Why was there a turnover there, other than slips and falls? Because Amelia did a tremendous job. When Liv went middle, Amelia did what? Chest blow, kept her above the foul line. We don't have to help them. We just stay. Does that make sense? That's the key to it. If you can get your player going sideline to sideline, we don't have to help. Again, careful when you teach it, because kids are literal, right? You're saying we want to stay out of rotations for as long as we can. Sometimes they're here and you don't ever rotate. Alright? But if you teach it properly and you show them the why of the how, the only way that you're going to be able to show them the why of the how is in 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and have a playing component to everything you do. If you have a drilling component and then you move on to the next thing, you might as well have taught Yahtzee for that 10 minutes. They don't, again, players don't understand, and this is not knocking players. I'm talking, I've been fortunate to coach, some of the greats of our game. They aren't able often to see, why we're doing this drill. That's your job. You're the drill guy, they're the playing guy. You've got to marry the two environments. So now, give me quick. No. So now 3-on-3. Yes, sorry, my bad instruction. Again, the more you add elements quickly, the more, and you'll see some players, some of the really high IQ players, they'll get it in the one-on-one. Okay, I know what to do. Alright? I saw a player yesterday from my hometown. Her name was Sally Jess Brizzo. Her IQ, she was at 14, was able to get, I know why we're doing this. Just unbelievable, natural basketball IQ. Others don't have it. So keep adding little bits. And then okay, I get where this fits. And it's not them being stupid, it's that you've got to guide them through. It's guided learning environment. So same thing, there'll be one pass there, everyone's got to jump to this, make sure it can check. Now, what you want to do is have a shallow triangle. Make sure you point. You're not allowed to say point pistols anymore. Political correctness gone mad. But what you've got to do is point your pistols. Alright? Here, ball goes there. Flatten, point your pistols, you jump to your position. Now when it gets back to you, your whole thing in life, my friend, is to penetrate middle. So now, what environment you got? Yeah, good. You're in stay or go. You will do a better job, and you can drop because that's the least. That's the one gross movement we'll give up. Closing the back out to a three-point shooter. Understand? Everything built. Feet position, stance, hand positioning, chest blow, stay, go. We're building this. Alright? Let's go. Here we go. Good boy. Yeah. Alright, good. Play. Now let's play. Good. Swap it over. Quick. Again, that's keep going, guys. Don't play the drill, don't play the game. See that? There's nothing wrong with it. What are you looking at me for? I'm not going to help you. Good. Hands up, good. Good. Back. Now, I was about to give one a massive rap there. His positioning was superb throughout. On the first penetration, what did he do? We call it, he showed help, not gave help. Makes sense? So he showed help, he didn't give help. Because if he gave help, what are we in? Rotations. Right? So I was going to give you a big crap until you went. Alright? And knock you almost senseless on that. And that's where the foul discipline aspect comes in. You've got to play without fouls. So we've done a great, you think about if that's the game, we've done a phenomenal job, right? And on his third action, the first two actions superb, third action, we've probably, how long on the shot clock? We've all been there, right? Great job, but don't foul! Right? Got to teach him. One of the worst things that you can say. Don't foul! Who's done that? Don't foul! Right? What would be better than don't foul? Move your feet, hands out. Doesn't take that much longer, but what is it? It's an action word. Oldest saying in coaching, don't say don't, try not to say try. Don't say don't, try not to say try. Don't foul! Sorry, my bad. Try to keep the ball in front of you. That's a beauty of coming in. So tomorrow's coach tomorrow, try and keep the ball in front of you. Go. He said, hey! I said, I'll try it. Alright. Give them action words to do. Alright. One last one. Let's go. Training position. Now, one thing we have to get done here is make sure that we sit into our game, we establish those three key things: stance, foot possession, hand position, straight away. Because if the possession starts and we don't all have all three of those core things down, we're going to be in rotations quickly. We're going to foul or we're going to give up wide open action. So everyone's got to sit into their game and start. Hand positioning, so if you're off the ball, you're pointing ball, you man, pointing your pistol. Alright, you're going to go over your stance a little bit, let it go. Alright, now we're going to play. Ready, go. Give him a hand, that's a great possession, I thought. Right? You see that? There's constant movement, but the key to it was constant movement this far. They never got in a situation where someone had to run to Rex and hope. Because you all know, for those that have played, when you're running out to an offensive player and it's 2 or more meters, you're thinking one thing in your head. Oh shit. Alright? You know? Because now they can shoot it. Right? Until I've never heard it before. Right? Now, if you close out short, they can shoot it, and now we shoot a lot more threes in the game than we ever have. Right? Or if we close out long, I've got to have the athletic ability to go with all my inertia going this way, stop it, and then move it. Again, Damien Martin, before he gets paid. Matthew Dellavedova, before he gets paid. He can do that. Right? We're dealing with mere mortals, no disrespect. Everyone we coach is a mere mortal. We're not a superhuman on those guys. So we've got to get that done. The other thing that it'll do in drilling like that, it'll help tremendously on the offense. You've always got a two-way teach, right? So if now the offense is going up against far better defense, it doesn't bail them out by giving a straight line drives, or doesn't bail them out by fouling, it becomes harder. How many made baskets have we had today? Now I know that that's because they're being compliant, but how many made baskets as opposed to how many turnovers? I think the last 3 possessions, other than when Wani suplexed the guy, right, were turnovers. So now as we two-way teach, we've got a chance to really work the skills, the offensive skills, because they're going up against better players. Right? They're going up with people who can do things and take away their first thing. All right? So now, you jump in and get someone else to pass on. Given the amount of time that you've got for practice really important that you move quickly through things. You know, I would suggest that 10-minute training blocks would be the absolute outside. And when I say that, 10 minutes where you're focusing on one skill or maybe two in a concept. So as we're building up this, obviously we're taking a lot longer because this is about you, it's not about them, right? But with this, if you can devote 10 minutes of your practice to pretty much everything we've just done. Now obviously early on you've got to teach it. But then once you're into your season, you can say, right, let's build up now, let's get our chest blow series. Go. 10 minutes on the clock. You still coach them, but they know. Alright, so they do one-on-one. And you go, hey, build, bump and done now. And they know the terminology, they go. Again, it's the brushing your teeth mentality. You've got to just do it every day. Right, play 2-on-2 now, 2 angle. Right, get, stay and go. And they'll know. Understand this, kids now have got more ability to absorb information than we did in our era. Alright? Because they've got so much access. Already this morning, you know, they've been on minimum 2 platforms of social media. That they've already absorbed more information than me reading the Herald Sun for 10 minutes this morning. Alright? So they can learn quicker than they can absorb. So set up your drills, give them names and get through it. And coach on the run. The other great thing that you can think about when you coach is the concept of praise, prompt and leave. Praise, prompt and leave. So in this situation, like the last one, he did a terrific job on that first goal. Right? Praise. The prompt. Make sure there you just wall up and don't foul. Right? Play without fouls. That's the prompt. What's the most important thing now? The leave. And I don't mean leave and go and get a cappuccino, right? But go and coach someone else. Who does this? Do you understand? Of course he understands, not an idiot. You know, we end up staying in that moment a bit longer. So praise, really good job here. Prompt, some teaching, then just leave and go and coach someone else then. And that's a great way. By doing that, what you'll find is you'll coach every kid in your practice a lot more. And human beings are needy. And that's, you know, people say, oh, they're needy, it's a negative. No, it's not. We are, we need, that made us that way. We need others. But they need to have acknowledgement. That's why I asked their names. Right? So now you can call them what you live do this rather than they do. Alright? So be part of that. Now what we've got is this. Stand. You've got to make a pass there. The one coming to the finishing out. Again, with the pack, this is my fault. He's in pack positioning, she's in pack positioning, he's on the ball. He's not part of the pack. He's the leader of the pack. Does it make sense? Right? Too often, again, that's when we talk about pack man-to-man. Kids think it's sagging man-to-man. You know, you do when you used to go to the West Wallen tournament and the games are outside. Alright? You just sag off because there'd be wind blowing, and you know they miss you, you get it. That's not the game. So you're slamming onto the ball, you're establishing the hand above the good boy. Now you're in your pack positioning, you're in your pack position. Now, you're going to make a pass back to there. Now, in the situation here, just stay here. You might sit high side of her now with it, right? Now, what's going to happen? You're going to down. No, you're still there. He's not being defended, sorry. You're going to set it down straight. Right? As that happens, right? What we're going to do is get thin, get wings, and get through. Get thin, get wings, and get through. So, you've got to get off a little bit. You're saying screen coming, whining. Whining. What you're doing is getting thin, so narrow. Right? You don't want to try and go full chested. You're getting wings, and you're getting through. Alright? And then you're closing back up to the ball. Up to the man. Alright? So show that again. And what I mean by get thin, you see kids all the time. We're doing a screening drill now. And he won't let me down. Nothing to one in my straight in the screen. Not because I think he's not very intelligent, I just think players are not very good. All right? We're doing a screening drill. Okay. You know what I said we're doing a screening drill? What I meant was we're doing a screening, right? But we want him to get thin, so he's not trying to go through full chested. Get wings, and by that, get your hand through. If your hand through, guess who's through? You're through. And then get through. Get thin, get wings, get through, and then when you arrive at the ball, now we establish our standing. Let's see the whole thing steady. No, the whole thing steady. Go. Here we go. Good. Good. Alright, now, once it's back there, it's live. Alright, now stop. If you post, go back there. You can't allow that. You've got to be high side. Yeah, there. You've got to be high side there. You're doing a great job of talking. So he's comfortable to do that, and then we just play. Alright, let's go. Whole thing now, live. Effort. Now, whoop. What are we going to add? What are we not getting for? Okay? Ball, gap, screen coming. When you're through, what are you saying? Genius. But again, make it simple, and it's great, right? Stay, go, ball, through. This is not, right? You're not given the presidential address. Just communicate to your teammates what you've just done or what you're about to do, right? So you see kids all the time, ball, ball, ball. What does that mean? Right? Ball. Everyone knows that I'm guarding the ball. Gap. I'm in a gap. My teammate knows. I know if they gap, I'm in a gap. If they do penetrate, I'm going to help. It's not realistic. Ball. Gap. Through. Stay. Go. Real simple, real clear. Here we go. Ball. Alright. Now, good. See. Amelia looks at me like I'm going to yell at her, right? And she's looking at me like that's my fault. Like it's her fault, sorry. Right? No way that's her fault. Whose fault is it? Accountability. And when I say fault, it's not about accountability. Whose accountability was that? Who was guarding the ball, allegedly, out there when they penetrated? Yeah. Whose accountability? Because she said go, but this is not UNICEF. We can't help the helpless. You've got to do your job first, right? If it's like bang and go through there, Woolworths, right, there you go in and get as much as you like, she can't defend the store. So in terms of as we build our defence, we put the accountability on money, not in a negative way. What's that? That's called a teachable moment. But it's a teachable moment for two people. My man here, but also you thought it was your fault, didn't you? Right? I can read about it. It's not her fault. And I would say, hey, not your help. Give her affirmations. Right? Because you can't get learning, you can't get trust if you don't provide affirmation. Right? Flip it over. Quickly flip it over. Down. Clear ball. Here we go. Go. The ball. You go. Good. You got it. Good. Down, ball up. Good. Boy. Test. Get it. Get it. Stop. Boy, stop. Now, again, that's the players, they're conditioned to, what do they just do? They've just finished the drill. Instead of just finished the play. Big difference. And so, again, this is not about them, it's more about you. You see that? And the other advantage of that is, that was ugly, wasn't it? Like, it got ugly, everyone and their mother was in there. You've got to be able to be comfortable with the mess. It was messy. And 10 years ago, what I would have said, stop, you know, blah, 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 set it up again. Well, that happens in the game all the time. When it gets messy, you stop the game and say, set it up. Oh, no, it doesn't? Oh, okay. Well, if the mess happens all the time in games, what have you got to allow sometimes in practice? The mess. Don't worry about the aesthetics. So that mess, I wanted the defense to scramble, but I wanted you to get it, see if you can do a little jump ball, get fouled and one. and then we can celebrate that, because it's about a snapshot of what happens in the game, not about your drill. But it was pretty good for the most part. Jacob, what Jacob, we haven't spoken about this, on penetration, just give Jacob a ball. Strike baseline. Jacob's man drove baseline. He got to here. Now, what he did was just this, we call this walling up. See, I'm in the charge halo. If I touch him in any way, probably what's going to be the call? Foul. This is a really protected area. So if I just wall up and he makes that, it's not soccer, it's probably not going to be 2-0, it's okay. But what's the percentage it makes on shots in here, over a hand, and I can jump and do it too. If he makes that, we just run the other end, say good job, and then we try and get something down the other end. What is going to be, if he pump fakes and I go, it's guaranteed 2 points. Not only guaranteed 2 points, it's 1 foul on me, so potentially I've got to go to the bench, but this is a team game, it's 1 of our 4 fouls that we're only allowed to give up every quarter. For no reason. For no, what would be the advantage? How many shot blocks have you seen in this situation? Unless it's a massive advantage, great effort. How many from there, with him, remember he's got the ball, so he's got the power. He can fake, he can pivot, whatever. How many times have you seen someone go up? It doesn't happen. You know, block shots and all the kids go, yeah! And what normally happens? Another kid gets fouled, right? Or another kid just gets and puts it in. While all the teammates, yeah! Oh. You see it all the time, don't you? Alright? And as you said, Coach, most of it is a foul. Pretty hard, you've got to be pretty skilled to jump up in that situation and block the shot and not get any part of it. So that's part of that foul, just to pull that walling up. If you get in there, just wall up. And if they make it over that, pretty good. What do you reckon the percentages of people making layups in a game, 5-on-5, over 2 extended hands like that? I reckon in the NBA it's 50. In the NBA. I'm not talking about the Random Basketball Association either. Alright? So make sure you drill that with a bit of confidence. Alright. Now, do we have a 4th player here? Up. Please. Thanks. Alright, so now we do the same thing with 4 now. Now you can do it however you want. You can do it 3 around 1, you can do it 4 out, however you want to do it is fine. We're just going to go to the perimeter. So we can do the same setup from here. Again, we're trying to balance. So all we're going to do is forward start there. Ball start there to make that pass again. Where's your positioning? Where's your... Now, stop. Common issue. Players, we've all heard of the term jump to the ball. There's no such term as jump to the basket. Alright, now Amelia just jumped to the basket. So what help is she? She's 0 help. She's too far away from Liv to be outside 3, mate. She's too far away if that's a pass. What sort of movement is that? Now it's a gross movement, it's going to create a closeout and we're going to be in straight away. What? Rotation. If my man here penetrates, by the time he penetrates, by the time I help him, it's no help at all. Alright? Someone else has to rotate and go. So your pack positioning, mate, is up in here, wanting it both. Alright? Now, the big kids, they don't want to be out here. They don't want to be out here. They have to. Aaron May, they have to. But if we teach them positioning and the importance of constant minor movements, they'll be okay. It's when we put them out there and we want them to act like point guards, that's where they go, screw this, I'm not doing this. Alright, you're setting me up for a fail. So stance, now, pass, pack positioning, so narrow your pack, good, narrow your pack, good, not too bad, pass back, right, pack positioning, good. Now you're downstreaming. Remember what's our rule? Get good, get thin. Now as soon as that screen's happen, it's live. So you can drive, you can hit Blani, or you can pass there. Alright, so we're working on rehearsals live, but you always want a live component. Always want a live component, because who as a player loves shelter? Right? Do you love shelter? Oh, you do like it. You'll go a long way, my friend. Right? You're 1 out of 17,000 players who've ever answered that. All right? So, ready? Now, you hear me use the term sit into your game. Both sides. They all play 2 upright. Now, it's freezing cold. I'm talking whatever else. It's hard. But they've got to play the game down. Both sides. Sit into your game. Sit into your game. Good. All right? Here we go. Good. No playing. No playing. Good. That's good. Oh, good. Start. Good. Go. Play. Pull back now. Pretty good. Now, it's really good. Swap it over. The only problem there is, and again, they're trying to be compliant. The offense is playing defense too. They're not physically on it, but they're you know, like, that's why we say, get some rehearsal to start. So the only bit of rehearsal is, you know, those 2 unguarded passes. As soon as it gets back to you, mate, it's live. So you're screening, but you can penetrate, you can pass and cut and whatever. We just work on rehearsal to start, but then as soon as that second pass is made back to my friend here, we're playing. Because that's the game. And we've done this poorly. We've taught Shell in this real controlled environment for a long time. And in the game, it's like, hold it, coach, here I am. Yeah, well, mate, the game's not really that way. It's a bit more dynamic. So that's how we have to teach it. Right, let's go. Now, we didn't talk about ball screen defense, right? And we're not going to talk about it because ball screen's taken over the whole game, all right? It's another clinic, it's another, right? So in that situation, that ball screen, who set the screen? Who was the defending here? What would you have done here? Yeah, you called it, good boys, so communicated early and then you can navigate it. If it's late, what would you do after that? It's late clock, yeah, so you would switch. Alright, so let's just go with that now. Let's just go with that now. So swap it over, quick, what we're going to move. Now, pretty good. Couple of things. Talk's not great, is it? You know? And sometimes the learning gets in the road of the doing. They're trying to be highly compliant now, aren't they? So you see, where's he want me to go? This place crazy. You know, make sure the learning doesn't get in the road of doing. Be a player. The best way to do it is talk your game. Alright? Ball, gap, pack, whatever. If you talk your game, it's a lot easier. Okay? Now, one is terrific communicator. You know what he does? It's not rocket science. He just talks the game, doesn't it? Ball, gap, just constant, small bits. Alright? Here we go. That's one of the things that as we've rolled this out nationally, and we certainly didn't invent it from a Basketball Australia point of view. There's a lot of great coaches that spend a lot of time with this. It's really important that the player guarding the ball realises they've got key responsibility, but they actually have got to leave the pack. So in this line here, all right, and Bob Park never changed it, but 1979 there was this many lines, here we are 30 years later, this many lines, right? This would be great pack line. So this is where I would stand. I'd use this brown line as the pack line. Does that make sense? So if I'm helping, I'm on this line. Now if my player's got the ball, I've got to leave the pack line to go and pressure the ball. Now we might not go and leave and pressure way out here, but we certainly don't want to be defending the ball here. And it's that UNICEF piece. If we're doing this, we're just waiting for help. We're just waiting for rotations and we can't get it done. All right? Next one. Ball's here. Also want to add element of chaos and element of movement when you're teaching the shell. If you keep it very static and do it, even that, very static, isn't it? We know that the drill's not live until it gets here. So now what we're going to do is give me your defender there, Amelia, sorry, your name is Shakira, you're here, you're inside, you're there one, okay, what's going to happen? You guys sit into your game, everyone sit into their game. Right, hands, now you've got to still see the ball. So your head swivel, you don't have to get, you want to open stance, just head swivel so you can see the ball. Right? I'm going to throw it out. Now what's going to happen, Shakira, you've got to leave the pack and go and pressure the ball. Yep. You guys have got to establish the pack, because that's not the pack. Look at this, if he comes, what sort of movement are you in? Gross movement or rotate. You've got to get to the pack. There, sit, point ball, you man. You narrow that, and same with you, Amelia, good girl. Yep, you're here, sit into your game, point ball, you man. All right, maybe one step back so she can't get that good. All right? Then, I'm going to say ball. Throw back in. Shakira, you've got to switch with Lani. Sprint. No, but to those spots. Back to those spots. Yeah, no. Sorry, Shakira, you go, and you're inside the so what, yeah, there, and you've got to switch with Amelia, go to those spots. What have you got to do in that setting? Because there's going to be cuts, yeah, good boy, you've got to talk, right? And in a switching situation, names are crucial. Right? Switch Shakira! Because if you say switch, there's 4 people out there. He switches, she switches, we're all switch, alright? So, then on the next one out, I can throw it anywhere, right? Live. So now, pack positioning, Lani slamming onto the ball, and now we're playing. Now we're playing. All right? Got it? Here we go. Let's see the whole thing. Now, constant, small movements, sit into your game. Now, I'm not a big believer in the old pitter patter. You know, this one? I'm not a big believer in that. Where's all the energy going? It's going down. Alright? The best way to create movement is simply to move. So rather than be doing, you know, sometimes we used to do this, you remember this. Alright? It's pretty hard to go from this to that. Alright? So what you're better off doing to space and physical. See that? Just a subtle nuance. I'm moving. The best way to initiate movement is to simply move, but I'm not doing some structured thing where it's here, bang, and then I go. Alright? Let's go. So remember, first one out, slam on the ball, pack positioning, talk. When I yell ball, throw it back in, switch and name the switch. Second one out, we're playing long. Ready? Ball. Go, 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 go. Big pack, whoa, switch. 2-0. Oh, you with me? Alright, now, we'll start again. I know it's probably a bit of high school. Ball. Ball. Go, I'd like to say that I'm a defensive genius, and we've built our defense so beautifully that we forced it out today. We all know the reality is that's not true. Guys, I'll finish playing. As soon as that second one comes, you know what I would do? If you're the second pass out and it's a closeout, what would you normally do in the game? You've got 1 of 2 things you do. Yeah, shoot it or blow by. Perfect. Okay, and the last decision would be pass. The first 2 are positive. Right, so don't be so passive. Be because we can't make the defense break with poor offense. All right, sit to your game, everyone. Sit to your game. Ball. Get ball. Move. Ball. Get it. All right, now stay where you are. Let's do a little. Stay where you are. Let's do a little critique of our defense now. So, why you went middle of baseline. Went baseline, right? Who was going? How was his defense? I thought it was excellent. Why did he went baseline? Did he go baseline and get to the basket? No, what did he have to do? Had to make a spin move. So if he gets to the basket, it's a foul or a layup. We stop him getting to the basket, he's got to do a spin move. Is that a more difficult move than just a layup? Yes. Where's the help? Where he spun to. Now, he made a great play. And you know what? Sometimes people make great plays. Right? In that situation, great job, Nathan. Even if he's spun and scored, you've got to acknowledge when they do the right thing. I say, great job, Nathan. Way to take away that baseline. Good boy. It can't be, oh, they scored. Nathan, your man scored. Because is he going to do what you ask the next time? No, he's like, oh, what's he want me to do? God, so that's where it's got to be cause and effect. Now, when he spun, who was the closest person? Where were you? Okay, where were you? All right, now, this is where, while we want to stay out of rotation, if an athlete gets there and spins to the middle, it's time. It's time to rotate. So what you would have to do is, you don't have to come there, but just dig down, at least there's bodies there. If he makes that, and again, that's what I'm saying, be careful how you teach it. She's doing the right thing. I'm not rotating. We need some help now. Right? So it's hard for players, isn't it? Don't do this, but if this happens, make sure you do that. That's why coaches rule, because we keep getting to change the rules and we'll never lose. Alright? It's always the player's fault. Let's go one other one. Let's add this. Alright? Same start. Now on the second one, right? On the second one, I throw it out and the wing has to go and set a ball screen. Right? So you have to go and set a screen for Shakira. Now what you're going to do is screen, you're on the ball, screen coming, switch. Now, so what you have to do is force it to your mate, and then on the switch, you have to do what? Leave the pack. You see kids switch back here, what's it do? Roll, foul, all right? So again, it's not about sagging man to man. If we're going to switch that, this guy has to be brave enough to leave the pack, and then your job is to make sure you get underneath immediately. Make sense? All right, let's go. So same thing, first one is just a personal. Second one, we'll go to a guard. If it goes there, money, you're flying. If it goes there, middle, you're flying. All right? Ball! 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 Stop. See now, all right? Now you tuned out. So how long did that take? All right, now I know that's not going to happen in a game, but it's a mentality thing. Everything's got to be short movements. You've got to be, they've got to be engaged and whatever else. Right now, they're all right. Let's start again. Short movements, engaged, and again on that second one, you're moving as the ball moves, not about halfway forward. Here we go. Dance into your game. Ball. Ball. Yeah, go. Good job. Now play. Good. Stay down. Find yours. Where you at? Box. Get it. Keep playing. Alright, now, pretty good. It was pretty combative, wasn't it? What I mean by combative, they're trying to take things away as much as they possibly can. Right, one thing that they're not doing is jumping to the ball, they're jumping to the basket. So on that cutting action, what happened every time? Either wide open or foul. Right, and because what I mean by that is, if she makes that pass there, and I jump to the basket, right, she's now got angle through there, or angle through there, and eventually I'm going to have to lose vision on the ball. I'm going to not be a helper anymore because I've got to guard the imminent threat. If on the pass I jump here, I'm dictating that if she wants to come this way, that's fine, but she's got to come through my chest low, and she's probably not going to do that. If she comes that way, I can sink. Can you see the difference? I can still see that. I can communicate with you as Liv goes up, you go up, bang, alright, and I never lose vision. We used to teach this for years. Alright, go, snap head, remember that one? Now I can't see what's going on, alright? I can't see what's going on there, so if he penetrates, alright, yes, I'm doing a great job, but he can drive right there, and good players do it, I'm sure you do it. As soon as you see a head turn, it's like, oh, dumb big person, go. Alright? So if I'm that, I've got great positioning because I've jumped to the ball and I'm sinking. I'm still, if they make that pass, that's still a skilled pass. If I do this, I'm telling him to strike right on my run. And when I realise, it's rotation city, he's sucked in, and whatever else again. So we've got to give them the tools to stay out of rotation. Alright? Last drill. So same thing when I yell change. So it'll be the same way. On the second one, and I throw it out, and you guys are just playing pass couple of plays. So here it just go, bang, lift, get it's fine, go, lift on the dribble, line if you want to no screen, just pass couple of plays. When I yell change, right? When I yell change, you put the ball down. You don't get the ball, so defense becomes offense. But the guy, you can't guard the guy that was guarding you. So one, you couldn't do it. So what have you got to do with? Live. Do I just squeeze Liv? There, like that. All right. And you guys got to switch. You can't guard the people guarding you. Does that make sense? What are we trying to get done here? Bit of confusion. What happens in games? Confusion. Mess, chaos. What are they going to have to do, or are they going to perish? All right? We got it? No marker. Right, everything's the same until I yell change. Yes, do the switch. Yeah, good boy. Sit in again. Ball. No. So we'll start the same way, mate. So we'll come back to it. Ball. Go. Switch. Go ahead. Move. Right. Hey, flying. Change. Excellent. Good. Now play good. Swap it over. Pretty good. So start. If you start on offense and start on defense now, so the security team's in defense. Confusing. If you started on offense, you started that drill. Alright? Now you're in the lane. So you see, it was pretty good. But what wasn't any good? Talk. Alright? And it's so hard, isn't it? It's interesting, you think, boys, who plays footy? I'm not as many. Right, but around here, kids play footy. I moved to regional Victoria. Every boy plays footy. Unfortunately, now every girl plays footy. Right? And I thought, well, there won't be any problem with talk, because that's what they do. You can't play footy and not talk. I go and watch you play footy, they talk, and kind of basketball. I don't know if it's the confines or what it is. If anyone's got a solution for that, right, you're going to make $1 million. Right, sit into your game. Ball. Ball. Move. Come on. Ball. Move the ball. Change. All right, now, great job. Why do I say great job? Two-way teaching. One, he didn't play the drill. He realised there was confusion. He's got it, drove to the rim. So again, we need to celebrate the small wins. That's a small win. The other thing that smart players will do is not cut to the basket. Because that's the one place while there's chaos, the one place that gets forgotten about, which is funny, because other than the ball, it's the most important place they forget about. All right, so in that situation, rather than cutting, who's going to the ball? Amelia, you go to the ball? Yeah. So yeah, we teach Amelia, but more so the first thing, what do we want to dwell on first? Always. Positive. We want to provide affirmation. Doesn't mean that we don't bark at the kids, doesn't mean that we don't correct them. Right? But if I start into her, that doesn't acknowledge really high IQ play. So how much trust have we developed as a coaching and playing group? You know, it's really important. Again, it doesn't mean that you don't yell, it doesn't mean at times that you don't bark at it. But you've got to celebrate those small wins. All right. That's all that I wanted to cover.